like that. Apparently it was dog walking, and I'm a dog lover myself, so I'm going to talk to him now. Phil O'Farrell,
Hi.
welcome,
Thank
SVP
you.
of Viacom Media. Now, tell us about the leg first of all. You've got here on crutches, you've got plaster on. What on earth did you do?
Slightly unglamorous, no super yacht stories, just out dog walking, fell over, and now have this wonderful cast on just so
There it is,
everyone can
folks.
see it. Yeah, but I made it up.
You made it here, and of course your session a bit later on this afternoon is Disruption, Do or Die. From your company's point of view, what does that mean?
Well, I've been through the disruption of the leg.
Getting here, yeah.
So you can always
You've not died, thankfully, you're here.
You can always overcome the disruption, so don't worry too much. I think for us, it's ensuring that we go beyond just the standard advertising opportunity on any platform, frankly. So you have to have really compelling advertising. It needs to be really high-end, theatrical as I always call it, but complementing that with an immersive experience is of paramount importance. You see it even here, right? You could log on and hear all about the festival. There's nothing you can beat than everyone standing, getting ready to go in and see things. So having an immersive experience, whether that means sponsorship integration, whether it means working with talent integration, it might be a physical event. That's the real focus that we have in my part of Viacom. It's bringing all those elements together, complementing it with the linear television advertising environment and providing a complete end-to-end service.
Do you think people actually get the fact that this sort of content needs to be creative as professionally, as brilliantly as the best TV is created, the best films? That's what you're aiming for, and that's what's got to be done, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think those of us of a certain age, and certainly I can count myself having gone through the whole dot-com boom, and in fact during that time launched the first ever video on a mobile phone, launched the first ever mobile media club, which was called Mobile Media Club, when I was with Nokia Ventures, and I think that was well ahead of the curve. And I think all through that time there was lots of stories around, oh, you can just make content and stick it on mobile, the production values don't need to be so good, you can use different talent. The simple fact is you have to create high-end theatrical. Now that may well be consumed on a mobile device, on catch-up, it could be on any platform, but you always have to create the original, whether it's the script, the story, the talent, the actual filming, needs to be of the most high quality. And ultimately, whilst content may be consumed on mobile, it will also be consumed on every platform. And that could end up ultimately being, on what is effectively cinema at home, on widescreen, HD or 4K.
And the potential numbers are enormous, aren't they? We were hearing from a previous discussion that by 2019, I think it's just over 67% of the entire world will be on a mobile or on some kind of mobile device, which is a infinitesimal number almost, isn't it, really? So this is very important. It's got to be done, and people need to catch on to this, don't they?
I think it has to be done, but let's remember, this is extraordinarily mature. As I said, pre-dot-com times, I launched the first ever music video on a mobile phone. That was before real networks even had a video streaming product, which is probably arguably one of the first. So we're talking about 20 odd years of maturity here. And my statement, if you look back 20 years, probably at the National Association of Broadcasters, I said, you go from mass media to my media. There's no question that the quality of the content, the script, the talent, the filming, the production values, if they are not amazing, then you'll have a very poor experience. So actually I'd say, it's having the right skill and people involved in what you're producing, and also you have to make it super high quality. Now, ultimately the end user experience might be today on a small handset, but it's not far before, you'll flick it onto a hologram screen, or certainly VR as it matures will get higher and higher quality.
I was going to ask you about that. We've got VR demonstrations a couple of floors down here. That's one of the next big things. It's already getting very big. How do you see that working from your perspective, and quite an exciting innovation, I guess?
Yeah, we're excited about it. I suppose the last 2 years now we've been piloting, if you will. Certainly the last MTV EMAs, MTV VMAs and Kids' Choice Awards all had significant amounts of virtual reality from a capture perspective, and everything from behind the scenes, so you can get into, in the case of the MTV Awards, it was going to Ed Sheeran's dressing room, where they had a Border Terrier dog, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And being in that environment so that fans can sort of see before a performance, and then immersive VR of the live music event or whatever the event is. And I think the key here is when platforms such as Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter and others adopt that technology as they are into their environment, so consumers can start using VR. that's when it's really going to pop. And when those headsets, either mobile phone based or the whole tech in one device, that's an area where I do feel we're going to have a real, and yet another environment where people can consume our content, and that can only be great.
Well, look, thank you very much for really taking the time and
Pleasure.
the effort to get here on crutches. You're very good mates with Alan Carr, who's another dog lover. Has he been sending you abusive tweets since what's happened to you? Has he been quite sympathetic?
I've had a few bunches of flowers and the odd abusive tweet, but we'll see. We might get some more today.
He's not offered to walk your dog for you, I presume? No.
I think he has people to do that these days.
Well, look, thank you very much. Lovely to meet you, and good luck with the chat
Pleasure.
later on. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, man.
Thanks a lot, Phil.
Cheers.
And of course, you can find out more about Phil's chat. Keep joining us. Of course, all week we're here till Thursday, and if you want to get involved in the conversation, it's #AWEurope.